Hello, everybody, and a warm Wiki Weekdays welcome to all the guys, girls, and non-binary pals watching. I'm Lucas Holland, and this is Karl Smallwood joining me as always.
Hello, I'm Karl Smallwood. It's my real name.
That is your real name. It's surprising that some people do contest that every now and then, right?
Yeah. So if I was going to pick a fake name, would I pick one that sounds so stupid? The answer is yes. It'd be stupider if it was a fake name.
I think you'd pick one that's more stupid, right?
It's what John Cena always says when they ask him, is that your real name? He's like, yeah. If I got to pick my own name, I'd have called myself something cool like Dick Hammerbush. It's like, hell yeah.
I know that that's actually a bit of a problem with people in WWE, right? Because they own rights to
WWE owns their name, yeah.
But when John Cena's using his real name, that means they own his name.
Yeah, he does have to... which means, yes, WWE did get its cut for Transformers Bumblebee.
So, yeah, for anyone who's an aspiring wrestler who wants to get into the shit show that is the WWE, use a fake name. You don't want them to own literally you. But
don't pick a fake name that's so cool that you want to be known by it.
It's like there's a reason for a while that, The Rock was not The Rock. They were just Dwayne Johnson. Yeah, and I can't imagine being like, hey, you literally can't use your own name now.
Yeah, so we talked about that in our episode on The Rundown, because, fans of the channel, or people who've been tuning in for a while now, will notice that our usual format, because Wiki Weekends and Wiki Weekdays, the podcast you listen to right now, is a series where myself and Lucas scour the lengths and breadths of the internet for wikis on subjects we're interested in, bring them forward for discussion. Normally on a weekend, it's I host a video, Lucas hosts a video. If you listen to last week's podcast, you may notice that you're a bit worse for wear last weekend, right, Lucas?
And this week too, and you can probably tell I'm a bit loosey-goosey, because I'm not all there. I'm still a little bit ill. So yeah, last weekend Karl covered my back, and hopefully this week I'll just be able to make up for it by just having 2 videos out of myself. I'm just trying to
focus on recovery
because we need money. That's the problem with being self-employed, right? Is
you don't get sick pay.
If you're sick, you kind of just have to make up for it at some point.
You do indeed, yes. And, speaking of earning some goddamn money, Lucas, we have to make reference to our PPs, aka our Patreon producers, whose names you'll see floating around above our heads right now. Mm-hmm. If you'd like to become a PP, you can go join our Patreon. If you'd like to contribute in other ways, you can join our Discord, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And you can also vote on upcoming content as a member of the Patreon. And if you are a Patreon member, one of the other bonuses you get is the ability to submit pictures of your pet to our Discord, and everyone will vote on them. Do you feel like a flight attendant?
Yeah.
Do you know doing the thing, the flight attendants?
You'll see the exits here and here.
I still remember I was on a plane once, and you could tell the flight attendant. I don't know if they'd done maybe had a gin and tonic or something before they got on the flight. But when they did during they're doing all the animated examples of what you're supposed to do.
Movements, yeah.
Yeah, when they got to you put on your life vest, they put it on and they mimed drowning. I'm like, oh, they proper went for it.
But yes. Just terrify all the kids out there.
So you can submit pictures of your pets. So we have our pet of the week found below, and it's nice to have a pet of the week on screen because it's always better to look at than us.
It is.
When you're ill,
that's
and I'm trying to make back from the gym,
a bit more disheveled than usual, and I'm not as quite well lit as usual because I've toned down my lighting because
you just don't need that shit going into your eyes, right?
I turned it on and it felt like it was burning my retinas out. I was like, I'm just gonna be slightly less well lit today. But it
is that when you feel ill, the word obviously I'm saying worst here, generalizing. Of course, you can be ill to the point you're incapacitated, but when you're so ill that you feel like you're in 480p.
No, yeah, that's
you know what I mean. Where you just, I'm in 480p today, lads.
I did a test the other day. Turns out I got COVID at some point.
Always got the Rona.
So it's one of those of kind of similar to having a flu and stuff, right? Of I just don't feel 100% there. I'm not deathly sick and can't get out of bed or anything, but I'm also just like, I feel like I'm just running at half speed or whatever.
There's that general malaise over your entire mind, right? Like, I've been ill and trying to do work where you'll sit there for like 3 hours looking at a screen and you realise I've not done anything. Or you'll look back at it with fresher, healthier eyes and go, I've got to redo all of this.
Yeah, that's kind of been my experience of trying to get a video edited over the last week, is just like, what would take me an hour has taken me several because I'm just like glazed over.
Indeed, yes. So, we can only apologise for that, which feels weird to apologise for not being well, but, our relationship with our audience is, if we don't put content out, why would they give a fuck? And that's,
And it's more our relationship with YouTube, right? If people are wondering, like, why the fuck are you here then? It's like, I'm sorry, YouTube doesn't like it when we take a break. Like, we actually saw a massive knock when we took a break over Christmas one time.
We do, yes.
Like,
so that's why we have to record ahead for Christmas.
One time we took a break over Christmas, and the other time we recorded ahead of time and got it all done ahead of time. That was fine, but when we took an actual break, it was just like, oh, you didn't enjoy that at all, YouTube. Thank you for hurting us on the algorithm. And speaking of which...
Yes.
Just people who are maybe as online as I am may have noticed that a lot of YouTube channels are probably talking about this at the moment, but there has been a general just problem on YouTube in terms of like views and stuff at the minute.
Here's as well how I can tell that you're ill, because we talked about this last week.
Okay, yeah.
We did, yeah.
We did, but I was just going to say...
So just let's get your opinion on it.
I was just going to say a moment to remind people that it would really help us out, especially right now, if you just make sure to like the video, or most importantly, like probably just like share the video, or tell a friend or a family member that you enjoy this and that they should go and check it out, or just put it on. Just put it on, like while you're at your family's house or something, and be like, you're going to be forced to watch this. I'm sorry.
Background noise, man. Podcasts are a thing. You can put a podcast on when you're driving your car.
Yeah, you can. So yeah, just a reminder to everyone that like, yeah, things are a bit rough right now, and it would be even more appreciated than usual for people to just speak up about us if you like us.
Which is that thing, like, it's the running gag, isn't it, that YouTube is actively hostile to every person on its platform?
Mm-hmm.
Because it can be, because it has a total and complete monopoly over the video hosting side, because it's so unbelievably expensive. The only company that can afford to run a site at the scale of YouTube is one that can write off billions a year.
Yeah.
And not worry about it.
And the only other ones are subscription services, right? And the only people that can offer free
Nebula.
videos...
Yeah, get on to Nebula. Something like that, right?
Exactly. If someone from Nebula's watching, hit us up. But then I don't know what the difference between Nebula is and like a actual like those weird like multimedia channels and all that.
I think they curate their content, but I'm not sure because I've never interacted with it, which is probably not going to get us on their shortlist, right? If you went, is a spoiler, I don't watch YouTube.
But yeah, moving on, Karl.
Yes,
we're probably going to keep this a shorter episode, just for the sake of like right? my health, right?
You have to go rapid, or
try and let me recover a little bit. So, what is the wiki that you brought this week?
Well, I thought, oh god, switching over to the bright lights. Audio listeners can't get it, but I suddenly got flashbanged by my screen. But it's I figured since you're not doing too well, and you said we're going to have to go a bit quicker for this week, I thought let's talk about something that is very fast. So, for people who aren't familiar with the format of Wiki Weekend, as mentioned, find a wiki on a subject you're interested in, go through it, see what kind of discussion arises as a result. So today, Lucas, I've got the wiki in front of me for Chocobo, which is a creature from the Final Fantasy series. And what do you think about some Chocobo?
I think that Chocobos and Moogles should be in every Final Fantasy game, regardless of tone.
Yes.
Are they?
They're a recurring element in the Final Fantasy series. So if anyone's unfamiliar...
Definitely recurring.
Yes.
Yeah.
If anyone's unfamiliar with the Chocobo, the beauty of Wiki Weekends is that the wiki generally gives a broad overview right at the start. So, Chocobo, also called a Chocob. I've never heard it called that in any of the games. But
Chocob?
This is the Final Fantasy wiki, they must know. Is a recurring animal in the Final Fantasy series. They are large avian creatures. Chocobos roughly act as the Final Fantasy equivalent of horses, being domesticated for use as mounts for pulling carts, carriages, and for racing. Since their first appearance in Final Fantasy II, So they've not been in every game.
Oh, wow.
They've appeared in every game in the series since, in some capacity. So the only game they're not in is the first one.
Because I might be wrong, but I don't remember from what I've seen of 15 and 16, which is a limited amount. I don't remember seeing Moogles.
Moogles, they're less common, but Chocobos, that it mentions here, have been a mainstay of the series, and they've appeared in some capacity in every game in the series, except for the very first one. But even in games where they're not a mainstay, I think Final Fantasy VIII, where there's no Chocobos that you can encounter, but there's a couple of cutscenes where you see them in the background.
I was going to say they are an element in there somewhere, right? But
I think one of the rare summons you can get as well with the crossover Chocobo Walker is a Chocobo summon.
Right, okay, yeah. And yeah, that's thing. Final Fantasy VIII doesn't have them enough. I think that they should be prominent in every single Final Fantasy game. I think
it's because they're adorable. It's great branding.
They're adorable. They're unique. They're just fucking cool and fun. And I wish that a lot of Final Fantasies would embrace the fun side a bit more.
They also smell. Which is a detail I like from the games, that apparently they really smell.
Oh.
They have a strong, musty Chocobo smell. So here you have profile. Chocobos, I think it's I say Chocobo. I've heard some people say Chocobo.
I've always said Chocobo, but yeah, I have heard people say Chocobo.
Both are acceptable because for the most part, the word is written down, and it's a made-up word for a video game with no accepted pronunciation up until 10 games into the series.
But Karl, our pronunciation is the right pronunciation, so Chocobo's wrong.
Yeah. I think Chocobo sounds cuter. So they are large yellow/orange birds, unless you're playing Final Fantasy VII, you can get a golden one that can fucking run up mountains and warm water and stuff. They have 2 front-facing toes and 1 back-facing, large wings and long necks. So they're similar to ostriches in a way.
I would say they're quite still far away from that, but yeah.
But in terms of their build.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you're right.
Their general physiology would be equivalent to a large ostrich, or perhaps maybe a cassowary or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But they're so large that you can ride them. Later games have made the yellow variety the common breed and introduced other types characterised by different colours. While the yellow chocobo is flightless, stronger breeds can swim and even fly.
That's one thing I enjoyed.
Run across mountains.
Yeah, I enjoyed the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth version, where different ones do different things, and that's a good excuse. But it does mean that you're limited to not being able to have the colour that you like the whole time.
Yes, unless you do the racing minigame, where you can basically they've all got special abilities, but you can win every race with every chocobo if you give it the right gear.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I mean, in the overworld, you can't use a yellow chocobo to climb up the walls.
No, you can't. Which I wish that was just you got to dress them up when driving around. Because in Final Fantasy VII, by the time you'd only ever want the gold. I think it's the golden chocobo. Once you've got that, you don't need another one because it has the abilities of every previous chocobo. Where it can go up mountains, it can go across water, it can jump, it can fly. And one of the chocobos as well being a fun addition to the game, lean into a lot of the story beats of a lot of the Final Fantasy games, that being that nature often trumps technology, that you should look after the earth. Because it says here that in many games, chocobos are able to reach optional areas that even an airship cannot. So even the pinnacle of technology in a lot of Final Fantasy games, the airship is still inferior to just a simple chocobo. As long as said chocobo, you have a deep enough bond with it to learn all its special abilities.
Yeah, and obviously the airship is a lot better at getting you across all of the environment a lot quicker.
But I do like how fucking fast chocobo are. They haul some ass.
Mm-hmm. I felt really bad because I played the demo for Final Fantasy 16 recently, and they get used as cavalry. Yep. I'm oh no, don't send the chocobos to the death marches. Just no.
The best thing about Final Fantasy 16 is where you go on the side quest to find your chocobo, because you hear rumours that there's some big monsters out in the world. Clive, the main character, has his own chocobo. It's super badass. It's differentiated, but I think it's white.
Mm-hmm.
And they talk about how, there's this mysterious chocobo that's kicking the fuck out of monsters. They say, every now and again, travellers or merchants will get attacked by a monster, and a white chocobo comes out of nowhere and kicks the fuck out of them. And you find it, and it's your chocobo that's just been in the wild training. like leveling up with his XP, kicking the fuck out of like level bosses and stuff.
Just been XP grinding out there.
It is. It's super high level. But speaking of super high level, there is one final variety of chocobo, the fat chocobo, a corpulent chocobo capable of human speech. And that's like a really fun sentence to say. A corpulent chocobo capable of human speech. I am a fan of alliteration.
I appreciate the fat chocobo as a summon.
Fat chocobo's great.
Them. They were an awful summon in comparison to the actual ones you can get by like playing through the game, but
yes,
they're very fun.
But I've always loved the idea of like have a fat chocobo or the chocobo rush that you can get. So chocobos are known to be intelligent and can understand human language. Bar the fat chocobo, the cases of regular speaking are rare. Otherwise, they're known for their signature quah crying. That's the noise it makes.
All the death metal screams that they make in 13 too.
Right? It's just like, sum up Final Fantasy 13 in one like 30-second clip, and it's riding a chocobo, and within 2 seconds you get a heavy metal remix of the chocobo theme with just them going, ride your chocobo. The chocobo theme is actually really fun. I love the chocobo theme, like dun 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 dun.
Yeah, it's a great theme.
It's such a catchy little ditty. And I love as well, I forget which game it is now, I think it might be Final Fantasy VII Remake or Rebirth, where Yuffie will occasionally just whistle it.
Yeah, no, Yuffie does. I think it's Rebirth, right? Because she's with the party.
She's in that, yeah. I wasn't sure if it was Integrate. But yeah, like, Yuffie will occasionally whistle the theme song. I'm a sucker for when like characters break the fourth wall. Just a little bit. They don't break it, actually. They knock on it.
Well, it's
they whistle along to the theme song.
Similar to Barrett. Every now and then Barrett will go like...
Oh, in Advent Children, where Tifa's ringtone. Tifa's ringtone is the Battle Victory theme.
I'm sorry that I haven't seen Advent Children.
In Adventure, I think it's Tifa or someone. There's a fight scene with Tifa. It might actually be. I think she fights the Turks, but she has a fight scene with the Turks, and someone's phone rings, and the phone ring is the. It's fun. Here's a question: Do you think that upcoming Zelda, like the live-action Zelda TV show, are they going to play the or will they not put it in?
And it's West Ball, and I think West Ball takes itself far too seriously to be
so we're not going to get the item fanfare, even like as a reference. So. You're not going to get it as a reference, like maybe like an orchestra in the background will play like the thing to introduce somebody.
Maybe I'm doubtful. I'm hoping it'll be way more score based than soundtrack based compared to like the Mario movie. Mm-hmm. I don't think they're going to do like needle drops of illumination. But
yeah, the Legend of Zelda as Link's like riding on Epona to go save Zelda. I need a hero.
Please. Yeah,
to be fair, that'd be pretty sick. If they filmed it like Shrek 2, that'd actually be sick.
It would be in one sense, but that's not what I want out of that.
It's not what you want out of a Zelda movie, right? Yeah.
But I would like some actual drops of like actual Zelda music and fanfares and references
the fanfares, right? I said I like when games and series will knock on the fourth wall and have a character like hum or whistle along to their own theme song. I think to Baldur's Gate 3, where it's suggested and then outright stated, if you get the right path through the game, that Karl has meta awareness and knows she's in a video game. And the hint that she knows is that if you listen to her in camp, she will occasionally whistle along to the theme song in the background.
Oh, okay.
She can hear it.
But clearly it's not diegetic music, because there's not like
obviously it's soundtrack you, the player, here. So if you actually stand next to Karl, after a while, she'll like hum along, because she can hear the theme song that's playing, even though, as you say, it's not diegetic music that should be appearing in the camp.
Yeah, it's not like they've got like a boombox sitting there in camp just playing the music. But yeah, oh god, you got me thinking about the Zelda movie now, and I just wonder, the one that I'm wondering about,
yes,
is the like, excuse me, princess.
Oh, it's gonna be the first line, and I reckon it'll be the first line.
It's gonna be a bashful Link walking in on Zelda, going, "Oh, excuse me, princess."
Yeah, they're either gonna do what they like in Avatar: The Last Airbender, like the live action version, like the TV show. They have like the cabbage merchant, and they have him go, "My cabbages," and it was cringy as fuck. Because it's just, if anyone's watched like Avatar, you know that you have the cabbage merchant. It's a running gag that every time Team Avatar turn up to a new location, the cabbage merchant's there, his cabbages get destroyed. It's to the point where in like Korra, where it's like in the future, they say that guy had like a company, like the Cabbage Company, and the Avatar accidentally gets it shut down. So even in death, the guy's cabbages still get fucking ruined. But they have him in the live action show. They get the voice actor in the show. And like when they enter, I think it's Ba Sing Se or whatever. I forget where it is they enter because it's been ages since I watched it. I'm not sure how far in the series it gets. That actor goes right in front of the character and goes, "Welcome. Would you like a cabbage?" And it's like, I know the guy wanted his cameo, but he's here to say one line. I don't want him on front and center on the screen. So I think with the Zelda movie, like you said, they'll put the reference in of him going, "Oh, excuse me, princess," or I think they'll have someone go right to camera and say it to camera. I think like Link will piss someone off and they'll go, "Well, excuse me."
God, I can't talk about this anymore. Let's talk about chocobos.
Okay, so chocobos are infamous for a pungent odour, which is often commented on by NPCs, which makes me think that Cloud and the gang just fucking stink throughout the events of Final Fantasy VII, because you spend so much time riding on a chocobo.
What about that knobhead chocobo guy? Chocobo Sam, is it?
Oh, Chocobo Sam. You mean the fucking woman trafficker Chocobo Sam?
Yeah.
Which is a wild detail. Like, in Final Fantasy VII like remake, the character's called Chocobo Sam. So he seems like a cool enough character, and it's like, hey, do you know where Tifa is? It's like, oh yeah, I kidnapped her and trafficked her to Don Corneo. And then that guy never gets a comeuppance for doing that.
Never.
He never gets a comeuppance for being like an admitted human trafficker.
So, I guess that just, the gang are just like, oh, well, he's not the real bad guy. But I'm like, but he is. He's part of the problem.
The idea that he says, hey, Cloud, your childhood friend Tifa, I human trafficked her to a sex pest. The fact that Cloud doesn't immediately omni-slash him right then and there is a huge plot hole.
It should be instant.
It's like this, like the fact that Barrett's there with his gun hand and doesn't just point it directly in that dude's face.
Oh, God.
They even give Chocobo Sam, like, he has like the coin flip thing, right, to make him look cool. It's like, no, you traffic women.
Yeah.
Why would I want this character to get any screen time?
And ironically, I think the one that would have murked him straight away is Tifa.
Tifa would have done it straight away.
Yeah.
Or Eric.
If Tifa had known.
Tifa and Eric would have fucked him up.
God. What a
their infamous,
character.
their pungent odour.
So at least you know that Chocobo Sam fucking stings.
It mentions in the Brain Blast quizzes for Final Fantasy 13-2, mentions that Academia students once had chocobo riding as a mandatory course, but it was dropped when parents complained of the smell rubbing off on their children.
That's got to be a real bad smell.
It says a lot as well, that, like, for something to stink that bad in Final Fantasy 13-2. If there's a series that could knock on the fourth wall, it would be that one of, like, get me out. In Final Fantasy Unlimited, the anime, when a chocobo eats a chili pepper, it will run wildly due to the burning of its tongue.
I quite like that as a gimmick of a way to speed up a character is just getting them to eat something spicy.
It's a very like anime thing, right? Like eating something spicy and it's like, the steam coming out your ears. Like, do you prefer when steam comes out their ears, or do you like something more abstract than that? I like something less abstract where it's just fire comes out of the mouth. Okay, I like the one where it'll like show you like zooming on their eyes and a volcano goes off or something like that.
Because I really appreciate the spicy curry in Smash Bros.
Oh yeah,
and just the fact that it's a ridiculous power up, but they just eat a spicy curry and just flame spews out of your mouth for like 20 full seconds.
Well, it's like one of the greatest like series of images, which I think sums up Britain. It's like a picture of a guy. It's like he's taking a selfie of himself eating like this super hot curry from Aldi. Mm-hmm. And the next one is like just when it shows you, and it's like him after the fact, half the curry's gone, and his face is red, he's pouring with sweat. He's taken his shirt off, and he's just sat there like. And I'll try and find it for the during the break, so you can put it on screen for the video watchers. But it just sums up Britain. In that vein, Lucas, what's like the spiciest thing you've eaten?
So I'm not.
Are you a fan of spicy
food? I mean, you've seen the colour of my skin, Karl. Am I great with spice?
You could be.
No.
Maybe that's why you got red hair.
No, I'm not. I live up to my pale and ginger stereotype of not being good with spice, and
okay.
I literally work for a restaurant that's like a spicy food restaurant. I've definitely gotten better with it, but I still only have like, medium spice stuff. I can't go like Vindaloo hot or anything.
Okay, because I don't mind spicy food. I'm not like one of those crazy people who like give me the ghost pepper chili.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a couple of friends who are, and like I've told the story a few times in the past, but you know what? Let's bring it back. One of my fondest memories when I was walking to a friend's house, I was like 19, 20 years old, it was a house party, and as I came up to his house, I just saw like a set of arse cheeks sticking out the window. I knock on the door opens, looking, it's like my mate sticking his arse out the window, and it turns out that someone had brought some ghost pepper chili peanuts. And they were, because they'd had a few drinks, they were like playing games with them. And it turns out that guy had been dared to put a ghost pepper chili peanut onto his bumhole.
Oh no.
And it gets better though, because like after about like half an hour, another friend of mine turned up. And we were all sat in there like having a laugh, having a joke. And he asked us what we were up to. And we've been dicking around with these ghost pepper chili peanuts. He's like, I don't mind spice. He's like, yeah, but like, so-and-so like dipped one right on his bumhole. I was like, you can't have hurt that much. And he's like, he fucking did, mate. So like,
he did it as well.
No, what he did is, he went, no, I bet I can take that. I went, okay. And just, one of my mates just looked at him and went,
don't say it.
Touch it to your bell end.
No.
Right? And he went, yeah, I can do that. So he whips out his knob, gets the ghost pepper chili peanut, and he put it right on the end, like right on his gentleman's eye.
No.
About 1 second, no reaction, ran out the room screaming. 5 minutes later, he walked back in. I shit you not, he had his dick and balls in a yogurt he got out of the fridge and just sat down.
So, when some people like, why do women live longer? Yeah, this is why.
It's more just though the image of him walking back in, it was like just the entire thing in a yogurt, and we all laughed. And then my mate, whose house it was, went, I'm gonna set us mine for my dinner tomorrow.
Oh, not anymore.
Not anymore.
Oh, that's terrible.
It's terrible.
I didn't want to know that information. I'm sorry, listeners.
And that's I'm not that much into spice, but I have had like I've had on occasion had a Vindaloo, and I remember once.
Turns out Karl was the one with the yogurt.
Yeah. That's if you order a Vindaloo, you get some yogurt sauce, right? Some yogurt dressing. You get your riata. Sorry. I'm not sure how you pronounce the word. I've only seen it written down on a menu, but yeah, I think when I learned that in like curries, like Vindaloo is generally seen as the hottest one. When I found out, in India and Indian cuisine, like Vindaloo's their equivalent of like a methi or a boona, where it seems like quite mild or mid-spice.
A middling spice, yeah.
And there's actually like a level beyond Vindaloo that they don't often sell in like Indian restaurants. Or they sell it, but not to white people.
Not in the UK, at least.
You can still get them, often. But I remember going, no, that's not real. When I found out the curry beyond a Vindaloo is called a Tindaloo. That sounds so made up.
The secret menu option.
Yeah, there's a secret extra next level step beyond a Vindaloo called a Tindaloo. And it turns out that Tindaloo is a real curry. And it's like, that is what a spicy curry is. And it's like 5 times as hot as a Vindaloo.
And we also have to acknowledge that, yes, they do, even for the spicy options, they tone down the amount of spice compared to the amount of spice that they would probably have in India.
So I remember my ex, she was like half Japanese, half Mexican, so she was used to eating some spicy food. Mm. And when we go to like restaurants and stuff, and we went to an Indian once, and she asked for it spicy, and the waiter asked her, "Are you spicy?" And she went, "I'm ethnic." And he went, "Say no more." And the chef made her how he'd make it, and I tried it, and it blew my fucking socks off.
Yeah, like my mum's really into spicy food, and the amount of times that I've been to an Indian with them, and just like they'll go, I want like a Vindaloo, but put extra chili in it. And when I mean extra chili, put like extra chili in it. Like, put it all in. Just go. It's like, just absolute mad person.
Well, reminders, like, there's those like hottest curry challenges you get across the UK, and there's every now and again, usually around Christmas time, when you get like people going out for like a work night out, 'cause it's a common thing in the UK. Work night out around Christmas time, you go for a Christmas curry. Of like the biggest guy in the office going for like the hot curry challenge. And I remember one story where the guy tried to get the hot curry challenge, and they found him out on the street naked because he took all his clothes off and ran outside. Because the curry was that hot, it actually made him go delirious.
Dear God.
It was that hot.
How did we get to hear from Chocobo?
Well, to say the chocobos eat the hot chilies. And he mentions that in the Final Fantasy universe, chilies can get to the size of a baguette.
Oh
That's a chili.
God. Dear God, like, we need that challenge, right? It's just the baguette-sized chili challenge.
Well, usually with chilies, it's like the bigger they are, the less hot they are. On the whole.
Generally speaking, things like when you look at like a Carolina Reaper, they're not a big chili or anything.
No.
They're normally shrunken and shriveled and want to kill you.
Yeah, it's like, was it like that one? And usually the packaging gets ever more elaborate to the point it looks like something that's like poison, which I guess it technically is.
I mean, yeah.
It's capsaicin is essentially just pain in taste form, right? So like the one chip challenge and stuff like that.
God, yeah, they look dreadful.
It's more as well, it looks luminous. I think that one chip challenge chip, it's so red, I reckon if you turn the lights off, you can still see it. But Lucas, we do have, though, some extra information about the Chocobo, and obviously they've appeared in every mainline and side Final Fantasy game after 2, but they are included in Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster, where they put them in as the thing that pops above your character's head when they're confused.
That's cute. I like that, as we haven't got the ability to fully like put them in the game or anything, because that would constitute way more of like a remaking of the game, probably.
Yes, we can put the reference in, though.
But we can put the reference in. That's cute.
Yeah. And when I say they've been in every single game, I mean that. Their appearances include Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 Interlude, 4 The After Years, 5 Legend of the Crystals, 6, 7 Crisis Core, Advent Children, Dirge of Cerberus, 8, 9, 10, 10 2, 11, 12, 12 Revenant Wings, 13, 13 2, Final Fantasy 13 Lightning Returns, Final Fantasy 14, 15, 16, Tactics Advance 2, Grimoire of the Rift, Crystal Defenders, Fortress, Type 0, Crystal Chronicles Ring of Fates, Crystal Chronicles Echoes of Time, Crystal Chronicles The Crystal Bearers, Mystic Quest Adventure Dimensions 2, Dissidia 012, Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia, Theatre Rhythm Final Fantasy, Theatre Rhythm Curtain Call, Theatre Rhythm All-Star Carnival, Pixelogica 2, Final Fantasy Airborne Brigade, Arcnix Dive, All the Bravest, Record Keeper, Brave Exodus, Explorers, Final Fantasy War of the Visions, Brave Exodus, Worldwide Words, Mobius, World of Final Fantasy, the Trading Card Game, the Portal App, Chocobo's Chocota Farm, Chocobo Series, Chocobo Panic, Unlimited, The Spirits Within, and Crystal Hunt. They've also had non-Final Fantasy appearances, and just take a guess. Because there's about
Kingdom
10
Hearts.
Different non-Final Fantasy appearances. Yes, Kingdom Hearts.
I'm guessing all of the Kingdom Hearts.
All the Kingdom Hearts games, yes. We also have the Mana series, Dragon Quest, so they've had like cameos in Dragon Quest, Puzzle and Dragon, Super Smash Bros, Tubal 2, Yokai Watch, Romancing Saga, Assassin's Creed Origins.
I don't remember them being in...
Well, let's click on that, shall we? So, Assassin's Creed
Smash
Origins.
Bros, but I guess maybe like they're like a spirit or something in Smash or something, or a sticker or something like that.
So Assassin's Creed Origins, a Chocobo Camel hybrid, is a reward that Bayek can earn upon completing the quest A Gift from the Gods, which was a Ubisoft collaboration with Final Fantasy 15.
That's pretty fun.
You know what? That is fun, and I want there to be more of that in like Assassin's Creed.
Mm-hmm.
Start putting more weird bullshit into Assassin's Creed, and I'll play it.
It pisses me off that every time with the newer ones, it's like, well, we're going to save all of the weird, cool, dumb shit for the DLC that you have to buy.
Like, Assassin's Creed Origins was great when they like, the DLC is like Anubis turns up.
Yeah.
So why is that not the base game?
I think it's same with Valhalla, right? I think you fought like a bunch of Viking gods and stuff in the DLC.
Only for the DLC, yeah. I think like Assassin's Creed Valhalla is the game that killed that series for me, because I'll never forget the review my friend sent me.
Donnie.
Because my friend got Assassin's Creed Valhalla and asked him, is it any good? Because I've not played an Assassin's Creed game since Assassin's Creed 3. He went, I got it, played for an hour and then turned it off because the mission I got told to do is go to Doncaster.
Yeah, that also lives in my head rent-free. Like, the moment you told me that, I was like, you can't be sending me to Donny. You can't do it.
Yeah, like for Americans, that'd be the equivalent of being asked to go to like just random podunk town. I'm not sure what an American equivalent of Doncaster would be.
Yeah, I don't
That's
know.
like a reference. We're just thinking like, a small town that doesn't really have a lot going on for it, that doesn't have the best reputation.
Yeah. I'm not gonna, piss off a bunch of Americans by saying the wrong town here. So
Yeah, America's a lot larger, so I think it'd be like probably on a state-by-state basis, but I imagine each state in America has like that one part of a state where people don't really want to go because there's nothing really there.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, Doncaster, it's a nice enough city, there's just nothing there. Like, if you were coming to the UK as a tourist, I wouldn't recommend going to Doncaster because there's nothing there as a tourist that you couldn't see pretty much anywhere else in the UK.
Yeah, and obviously the reason you go there is because historically it was very important.
Yes.
But for a modern perspective of like an English person, it's fuck, I don't want to go to Doncaster.
Well, it's one of many just suburban UK cities. So
it's one of many. It's not specifically Doncaster. It'd be the same.
I'd include as well. I live in Sheffield. I'd include Sheffield in that. Like a city that, unless you've got a specific reason to go there, why would you go to say Sheffield or Doncaster when 20 minutes away on the train is Leeds or Manchester?
Yeah,
two bigger cities with a lot more going on.
Go to Hull, and I'm like, really?
Grimsby.
Really? I mean, Grimsby's a way better shout. Yeah. Oh dear.
That's the choke
I've noticed as well. I was going to say there's a little bit of cowardice within that list of games, Karl.
Why is that?
It does not appear that they were in Guys.
They don't appear to have been in Guys. Like Guys, God Bless the Ring. And is that the greatest subtitle for a game? Guys, God Bless the Ring.
It's maybe probably the best thing about that game.
Yeah, they don't appear to be in Guys, which is, people don't know, is a like arena fighter game where you have Final Fantasy characters in it.
Yeah, it's a strange, bad, dreadful game with horrible UI, but a good subtitle.
Yeah, like the most notable thing about it is the subtitle of God Bless the Ring, because that's awesome. And I've seen it like reused, like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Sakurai Bless the Ring. And the other thing is the noise it makes when you press the menu button. It's like, ew. Because it was an arcade game first, and it was trying to compete with Mortal Kombat. And when you put like a coin into Mortal Kombat, you get the Shao Kahn laugh. Yeah. It's like the loudest fucking thing in any arcade. So many other arcade games had to try to compete with the Shao Kahn laugh, and all of them failed.
I just think that, Disney are cowards and should have made Sugar Rush a real arcade game. And
Sugar Rush would have been a great arcade game. It's gimmick as well, of like it's got a rotating roster of characters, and you get to make your own. The idea, like in Wreck-It Ralph, right? It's you go to the bakery and bake your cart.
You make your own cart, yeah, and
it's baffling it never became a thing, especially considering it would have been Disney making it, and they could have put a lot of like Disney references in.
Yeah, and you could have had special guest characters every now and then, like, throughout this month, like throughout December, there's a chance that you're going to go to like an arcade and play as Elsa.
It literally, the way the game is presented in Wreck-It Ralph gives them an inbuilt excuse to have a rotating cast of characters. Yeah. Like, this month, Stitch is one of the potential races you could have.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't pick Stitch, it's just randomly someone gets to be Stitch, and he has special powers.
And, yeah, that was a great example of how loud and abrasive you can be as an arcade game, and it works, because that Sugar Rush song is just really catchy, and, like, if that was playing in arcade...
I'd go straight to it, it'd catch my eye.
It would definitely catch my eye, for sure.
It's like, there's a couple of arcade games that when you go past them, it's like, they do attract the eye. One of them is House of the Dead. I always love when you see a House of the Dead machine, like especially when it's faded on the side. It's like, that's been here a while. That's probably going to have like... if it's a new one, it's going to charge like £1 or £2 to play it. When it's an old one, it's like, they're probably not updated. This is probably like 20p a play.
Yeah, because there's like the... relatively new within the last like 5-10 years Halo one, where it's like, oh, this looks rad, and it's like the giant pod that you get in and all this jazz, and it's like £2 or £3 a play or something, and you're like,
it's not worth it. No, but I like chuck £1 into like to have 3 credits on a House of the Dead game.
Yeah.
And, like, the other arcade game that always attracts my eye is Dance Dance Revolution, and more recently,
of course, do
you remember when I think it was for your like 30th maybe?
We went to that big circle.
Yes, that big arcade game, that big arcade in Liverpool, where they had like, you say, I don't know what it's called, but it's like a rhythm.
The one that looks like a giant washing machine with like buttons around the side.
It's a rhythm action game where you have to like press a bunch of buttons around the side, and there's like different motions you can play, and it's like it's similar to DDR, but DDR is a bit harder to follow for me, but that felt so fun where you like slide across the screen and do all cool dance moves, and he's there doing like your sick fucking like gang signs, throwing kamehamehas. And they had like an Undertale like song pack in it, if you remember.
Yeah.
And you and a mutual friend spent like a good hour just playing, like trying to get the high score on Megalovania.
God, that was fun. Yeah, that was sick.
Must be great. There's a Final Fantasy like rhythm game, right?
Well, there's the Theatrhythm games, right?
Yeah, which is sort of super fun. But yeah, that's the Chocobo. We've got to be as rapid as a Chocobo.
One of the most iconic mounts in video games, right? I'd say.
Possibly, yeah. Besides, like, individual like hero animals like your Epona. And I think Epona's an iconic mount, but my pick for like the most heroic mount has always got to be Aggro.
I was going to say
Shadow the Colossus. Just Aggro, the fucking big dick hero horse.
The absolute hero. I'm going to say no more, but people no.
If you've played Shadow the Colossus and you're like, why are you giving so much play to like a fucking horse? Like when you see what Aggro does, you'll be like, that's the fucking hero horse.
Give respect to Aggro. And like, they're not their amount. I don't know whether they're technically a horse, but like Torrent's very cool in Elden Ring.
Torrent doesn't really get any story though. It's like, you get here's your fucking ghost horse. Whereas Aggro,
Torrent's just cool because it's a ghost horse that can do double jumps.
See, I bet Aggro could do a double jump.
An absolute hero.
If Aggro wanted to, Aggro would do a fucking double jump. I bet Aggro could do that shit Legolas does in Lord of the Rings, where it's running up fucking rubble.
Hey, that's in The Hobbit. Give credit to Lord of the Rings. They wouldn't have put that shite in.
Like, Aggro is like the most hero of hero horses. There's never been a horse that is a bigger hero.
So, let us in the comments know what mounts are better than them. But
there's no you compete for second place.
I'd be interested to know, because it would be quite fun to like have a discussion about what are the best video game mounts. I can't think of them all right now, and I'm sure there's some like World of Warcraft that unicorn that ruined the economy.
Story relevance as well, and how long you spend with it. I know a lot of people maybe say like the horse you get in Red Dead, because you do grow an attachment to that horse.
But then you get so many horses in Red Dead. Like, the only thing I know about Red Dead is that people get new horses all the time.
Like, some people do grow attached to their horse. I was not one of those people, because I was of the mindset that I treat it like Grand Theft Auto. Like, I like this car, but if I ramp it off a ramp and crash into someone...
You can't say that about a horse, just ramp it off the edge of a cliff.
I did. The amount of times where I was like, it's quicker for me to just ramp off the edge of this cliff, because I don't care. I'll get a new one.
Yeah, and that's the thing, I say Red Dead. Red Dead 2, I mean.
Red Dead 2,
I've completed Red Dead 1, but Red Dead 2 I didn't find very fun, so I didn't get very far in. But I do know that there's just that one horse that everyone just looks up like a guide for to get, like the special white horse.
The Ferrari horse, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the best stats.
Okay, cool.
There's also a horse you get right at the start of the game that's like, this is a bad horse. But if you keep it to the end of the game, you get a unique cutscene of like Arthur Morgan like saying thank you to the horse, because like, as you might imagine, the end of that game is just all kinds of fucked up.
Yeah, and it's similar to Breath of the Wild, where I think the horse in that, just people look up the Zelda horse or the Ganon horse. And
where do I get the best one? Yeah. Where do I get the one with the best stats? I want that one. But yeah, for Red Dead, I could not give less of a fuck about my horse. I just said ramp that shit off the edge of a cliff every time. Get a new one.
Just get a new Chocobo.
Chocobos can fly. So that's like one of the funniest moments I've had playing a game. So I was just playing Red Dead 2, and I was going down like a hill. And I remember my horse just started fucking pinwheeling down things. It just slipped and fought and just fucking pinwheeled all the way down at the bottom. And I just remember looking and going, I'm not getting that back.
No,
because the thing is that it wasn't dead, but Joe, when you just look at it and go, it's not gonna be the same after this, because it was proper fucking pinwheeling down the hill, and it fell for so long. I went, I'm not getting that back.
I know that there's also the it has the same problem of just getting the best horse, but there's Skyrim as well.
Oh, you just get Shadowmere, right? Shadowmere, the fucking immortal vampire horse.
Also, just any horse in that game, because they have the power to just defy gravity.
Yeah.
Just do a wicked on us.
Well, also, Shadowmere is a good mount, because that like appears between games. Like, the immortal vampire horse is a pretty cool horse.
Mm-hmm. The fact that, it'll just, get killed. Now it'll just turn back up. It'll drop back up with you.
Yeah, it's got a higher health pool than the final boss. Because like Shadow Mare is not actually technically immortal. They just give it like 1 million HP and give it really, really high health regeneration to give it the illusion that it can't die. But you can kill it if you do enough damage.
If it does die, it does come back.
It comes back, yeah. And pro tip, if you want to like figure out a way to avoid like dropping shit on the floor, kill Shadowmere and just reverse pickpocket all your stuff onto its body, and when you get to town, kill it again and grab it all back. So I just think about, do you like the on like the Star Wars where it's like they cut open the tauntaun? Just doing that with Shadowmere, shoving all that shit into it and then sewing it back up.
Sewing it back up and be like, you're alright.
Just why is your horse crinkling? It's full of like 40 sets of dragon bones.
It's just got so many swords inside.
That is. The Chocobo, one of the most iconic mounts from video games, if not the most famous.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
And Luke, would you like to take a break?
I think I'm just going to say, like, we should just jump into the next bit and power through. So
while you do then the housekeeping, we'll look at that guy eating super hot curry.
Okay, cool. So I don't really think I personally have any housekeeping other than, like, you know, obviously go check out the Patreon. I currently, at the time of this, like, you know, if you're listening within the first couple of days of this podcast coming out, there is currently a vote on our voting tier and above on the Patreon of what movie I should cover for like the end of the month. So I will double check what I did for that.
You're doing like it's you want to do a watch along of superhero movies that are like MCU movies, right? So like Jumper and Push on there.
Jumper, you recommended Push for that one.
Yes, Chris Evans.
And then the other two are Kick-Ass and Super.
Okay.
So currently at the moment, it's only recently gone up, but Jumper is in the lead at the moment. So if you do or don't want to see me talk about Jumper, then head over to our Patreon and go check that vote out.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't think I can think of any other housekeeping at the moment, just because like I'm a bit out of it.
You are a bit out of it, yes. But I've got like the series of images now, Lucas. Like this is the picture the guy posts onto his Facebook of like, this should warm us up for tonight. A Carolina Reaper chili, curry from, it looks like Iceland.
Okay.
And there's the picture of him afterwards.
It definitely doesn't look like a Carolina Reaper in that, but yeah.
And then
oh no. So Karl's got like a sequence of images for me.
Yep.
So I'm just gonna try and get all of these up on the screen at the moment.
As well, that's like the most British looking man I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, there's a couple of like images where it's like that's just like Britain personified. Like the other one is like the dude who was traveling through Thailand or something, and a bag of cocaine dropped out of his passport at passport control. And it's just like the image of the dude, like it's the most, it just sums up Britain. So
we've got the curry there. I've got to add each image individually, apparently.
You have indeed, yes. But you know, for the visual watchers, you're in for a treat. Unlike this guy, who was just in for a world of pain. So he briefly, when he went to the bathroom the next day, got to experience what my friend did when he tapped that single ghost pepper chili peanut right to his little nub, right to his little bumhole, his little balloon knot was stinging the next day.
Have we got any credit to give this gentleman here?
I can't. It's just like the article is just like random dude.
Random dude, okay.
He's identified as a Scotsman.
A Scotsman. Mr. fucked around and found out. I'm sorry, we can't credit you right now.
He ate the whole thing.
He did.
He ate the whole fucking thing.
And then he regretted his life.
Do you think he regretted it more when he was eating it on the next day when he got the dreaded ring sting?
No. Well, it can't be as bad as putting the peanut right to the hole.
Right to the nub. Like I said. But yeah, it's like housekeeping-wise, not much to promote besides like, go check out Patreon. Luke's got a vote for random superhero movie that is not like a series. And I would be interested in talking about any one of those. Like Kick-Ass, Jumper, Push, and what was the last one?
Super, right?
Super. They're all movies I'd love to go back and rewatch. So
yeah.
I'll be excited to see what our audience wants to discuss.
Yeah, no, it's 3 movies that I enjoy and one that I'm unfamiliar with, but you recommended.
Yes, Push. Just 'cause it's Chris Evans.
Push.
It's a superhero movie about people with psychic powers starring Chris Evans.
It's weird that Chris Evans has never been really like in superhero films, right?
Yeah.
That's weird.
But besides that,
Anyway.
Lucas, what have you brought forward for discussion today?
So, I have brought forward the wiki for Metroid Dread, a game that I absolutely love. And the reason I have done so
is because
recently there's a little game that somebody listening may have heard of. Challenge you all to know of this little indie game called Hollow Knight Silksong.
I have heard of this Knight of Hollow, yes.
Yeah, and I've been playing through it very slowly with my Rona brain, just like I think I'm making progress
Some
about
headway.
third speed. But like I'm getting there. And I was at a moment where like I was getting really pissed off because like a very long run back to a moment where I thought like this is the bit I have to get through and power through. Turns out I think I might be in an optional zone. And it's probably not the optional zone you're thinking of. It's like maybe a secondary optional zone because I got through Hunter's March.
What made you think of like Metroid Dread then when it was Hollow Knight? Because Hollow Knight's not a Metroidvania. Because I always assumed it was, given its look and the platforming and stuff. But it's more a Dark Souls game, right? With the run back and stuff.
It's definitely both.
It's a Metroidvania with elements of it. It's a Souls-like Metroidvania, which is.
Yeah.
If it wasn't called Hollow Knight, that'd sound like the most off-putting combination of words. I'd be like, ugh.
Yeah, and
Trend chasing
I don't
101.
want to give full thoughts on Silksong yet because again, A, bit Rona-brained, and B, not fully through the game or anything. So,
Are you saying you want to finish the game before you give your thoughts on it?
I would like to.
I don't think you'd make it as a video game reviewer then.
Yeah, no, there were people posting like 10 out of 10 review scores the day after it came out. It's like people are taking like 40 plus hours to beat this game. Are you really telling us that you can beat the game, form your opinions, write a review, and give it a 10 out of 10 score within a day?
Do you know what I bet it is? Similar to like celebrity obituaries, where a lot of big newspapers and news outlets will pre-write celebrity obituaries when they reach a certain age. Just so that if the celebrity dies, they can quickly just edit in time, date, anything new that they've done since then, and release it as quickly as possible. Maybe it's like that. Maybe it's like they pre-written the Hollow Knight review.
Yeah, and again, there's a lot of discussion obviously going on about the game right now. I'm probably on the lower end of the spectrum of the opinions at the moment. But again, I want to give the game a chance, and at very least, I want to give it more of a chance before I talk about it than I currently have. Whether I finish the game or not is, I don't know whether I'm going to be able to power through the difficulty or not. But I've made decent headway. I'm like about like 10 zones in. I think I'm approaching the second act. So yeah, I'm definitely like intrigued about it and want to talk about it because obviously it's like the most hyped indie game of all time. Like I think it's.
I was going to say, that's a fair summation. It's like to the point where it was legitimately causing a downturn in productivity for some industries.
And it, like, shut down storefronts, right?
Yeah, Steam shut down because of the amount of downloads.
And the PlayStation Store, the Xbox Store, Nintendo Store, like, all of them were shut down for a couple of hours at least.
That must feel good, though, right? As an indie developer, if they announce it, not only does the internet collectively lose its shit of, like, people have been hankering after like Silksong for like years. They say, it's coming out in like 2 weeks, and then the day it releases crashes storefronts.
Yeah,
that's got to feel great.
It's got to be great, and that's the thing. Regardless of what I think of the game, whether I end up falling in love with it or not, I'm so happy that like a small indie team can find such great success. It's similar to like Claire Obscure, right? Of like. Even if you don't like Claire Obscure or any of these indie successes,
it should still be held up as a success story because it's an individual's or collection of individuals' own ideas being realised and enjoyed.
Mm-hmm. And just
not
the
to mention
idea
as well, their attitude towards it was very refreshing. Of every time they got asked, like when's Silksong coming out, when it's done.
Yeah,
and the fact they didn't like rush it out or anything, or. Because I can imagine every day they were getting harassed about it, and just when it's done.
you know, obviously, that I really enjoy the game Balatro.
Yes.
And they recently put out an update of like, hey, I know that people are asking me about when this new update's come in, and I said that it would be within this time frame or whatever. The new release date is like when the hell I can get it done, because I'm not very fast at developing these things, and I don't want to stress out about it.
Yeah, I don't want to like stick to what is a hopeful time scale, but even the best laid plans can go awry, and I respect a creator stepping back and be like, hey, look, especially like considering you're ill and recording something that you probably shouldn't be here recording, but you kind of have to. Mm-hmm. Someone having the ability to take that step back and be like, I don't want to kill myself rushing this out. I don't want to.
When you have a success of something like a Hollow Knight or Balatro, like someone like Team Cherry or Local Thunk, they can be, I have made my money. I can sit back and take my time now.
Yeah.
Same with I think it's like Concerned Ape, I think they are known as, who made Stardew Valley and making Haunted Chocolatier, and people are, when's this game coming out? They're like, I don't know.
Well, it's done. I appreciate someone who they have a success and be like, you know what, this is enough. I'll keep working on the new thing, but I don't really have to, and I don't want to stress myself out or like ruin my mental health or my physical health or my emotional well-being, catering to the worst aspects of the fan base I've curated. Like I think to like George R.R. Martin. He was like about a month or two ago, he was at some like Comic-Con style event for fantasy, and he was on stage doing his Q&A, and a fan legit asked him in front of Brandon Sanderson, like another fantasy writer, of like, so George, if you die, would you let Mr. Sanderson continue writing your work? And it's just, imagine having a chance to speak to George R.R. Martin, the author, the creator of a world that you clearly are very invested in. And your one chance to ask him a question is, when you fucking die, when am I going to get what I feel I'm owed? The end of your story. Imagine being that callous to someone who you claim to like love and enjoy the work of. That's
the thing. I think that, don't get me wrong, I think that is very much an awful take of like, how dare you like, treat somebody that has made something you love with that level of like disrespect.
Well, at that point, you're not even seeing George R.R. Martin as a human being with his own interests and stuff like that. It's like, you see them as, give me the thing that I want.
Give me the thing, yeah. And like, I understand it is a little bit different when it is somebody who is not done with a project. Like, this is still a Song of Fire and Ice. It isn't finished. Whereas, like, say, for example, like, a Hollow Knight came out, it was a game.
It was a complete experience. You could go.
Like, yeah. And yes, Hollow Knight Silk Song started out as DLC, but they decided, fuck it, we're not going to let ourselves like
the scope is increased
to that level, but the scope is increased. We want to do more with it.
We feel justified in creating a whole new game because we've got enough funds, energy, and interest to do that. But it'll just take a lot longer.
Whether people like the game or not, it's one hell of a experience in terms of like there is. As I say, people putting out like completion times of like 40, 50 hours. There's a lot of game in that game.
There's a lot of game in that game, yes.
And at a cheap price, which
20 quid.
Is great to see. Like, 20 quid for Hollow Knight, less than 40 quid for Player Obscure as well this year, which I've put over 100 hours into that game. Like, talk about indie devs just showing up actual publishers of like, hey, we're keeping our budget restrained, we're keeping our team small, and we're just going to show you the fuck up. And it's great to see. And like,
But in regards to George R.R. Martin, you're going to follow up.
I was going to say thank you for keeping me on track there. But yeah, just I do get the difference of they haven't put out a full experience, and I can see why that's so frustrating, especially with the way that the TV series went of like, can you give us the version of the story where can you redeem this world for us a little bit?
Yeah.
Can you try and bring back Game of Thrones? Like,
I can understand that frustration.
The positive side.
I can understand like thinking of being like annoyed, like please finish it. And I can understand like asking him when is it going to be finished. It's the extra step of planning for him to die, and then
when you fucking die, what's going to happen?
Not even that. Of when you die, would you give it to another writer who's on stage right now with you, and then expecting to get an answer from them? Because at that point, you are so removed from the reality of what that other person's life is. There's no empathy whatsoever. It's like you are viewing them solely as a conduit through which you enjoy this media.
Yeah. I'll have to double check.
I just feel I'd be so pissed off. Fair play to George R. R. Martin has always kept his composure being asked that. I would be so annoyed if someone asked me that.
Yeah, this must have been
when
a
you
good few
die,
years
can we
back.
take your stuff and give it to somebody else who will actually fucking finish it for you?
Because at this point they're 76 years old, but I think it must have been a good few years ago when maybe the last season came out and people were talking about it in the same way.
Oh, it's never going to be done.
And he was like, I'm in my 60s and people are asking me what's going to happen when I'm dead. Just obviously for him, that must just feel like shit because the entire conversation around him as an author is
it's not
when he dies X and Y, and it's like great. That must feel fantastic. Is your entire legacy while you're still alive is just watching people discussing your inevitable death.
I imagine it's a more existential version of parents seeing their kids bicker over their presumed inheritance while they're still alive.
Oh God, yeah.
Do you like that of when mum and dad die, I get the house. It's I'm still fucking here living in it. A more I said existential version of that, and I can imagine the reaction if I was a George R. R. Martin and I heard a fan saying that would not make me want to finish the series. That would make me want to not finish the series to spite the people who are actively planning for me to die.
I kind of wonder whether he's fallen into that at this point.
I won't be surprised.
Because
like Gabe Newell, right?
Yeah,
every single fucking day someone sends me a threatening, harassing message about Half-Life 3. So he got to the point where he just started saying every time someone asked him when's Half-Life 3 coming out, every time I get asked that question, I push the release date back another week.
It's kind of what we used to joke about, right? Is not something we would legitimately take seriously, but we obviously got a lot of comments just being do this.
Yes.
And for
Talk
a while
about this
we
thing.
just took the idea of telling people, well, every time you suggest something it goes to the bottom of the list. It's please just stop. And we do literally have a suggestion part in our Discord. We're not against it, but it's just when
there's a way the suggestion can be made though.
Certain things about you need to talk about this thing right now. It's just
someone making the suggestion in the dedicated suggestion section. That's fine. It's when someone's I said you need to talk about this, or they suggest it with an air of familiarity that is not earned, and in some cases makes me uncomfortable. Of, hey, I know that you would love to talk about this, and there's a risk that you can run into making content online that if you, even inadvertently, give those people, they are like the metaphorical mouse being given a cookie. Of if they see that by annoying you enough, they eventually get their way. All it encourages them to do is be more extreme the next time, because if I bug them to do this one thing, and even if, I said, it's inadvertent, because I've had it before, if we talked about a topic, and so it's oh, it's nice that you listened to our suggestion. It's I didn't even see that. But in their head,
and
it's because
sometimes we do. Obviously, we do look through those suggestions and put them on the list. Sometimes if we think that we're gonna like it, but then sometimes you'll get a person that's insistent on a certain thing that we've never heard of, and it's
or they'll suggest it in a way, I know that you'd love to talk about this, and if we respond, we're not familiar with that topic, or it's not a thing we feel comfortable doing, you do run the risk of that person becoming aggressive.
I think a good example is just we generally do our best to refrain from talking about anything involving a person that's recently died, right?
Yes.
That's generally our rule is for example, when Akira Toriyama died.
Yes.
And rest in peace, Akira Toriyama, we love your work. Love Dragon Ball, and just the moment that the news hit, multiple people badgering us you need to do a video on them straight away.
And no matter how much we try to clarify our position we don't, myself and Lucas are both of the opinion that we would not want to capitalize on someone's death or be seen to be capitalizing on someone's death by releasing content that we hope to get a boost from the algorithm because they died. And something similar happened when Ozzy Osbourne passed away. We had someone a very persistent fan who was asking us to make a video about Ozzy Osbourne, and despite myself and you clarifying multiple times, it is not something either of us would ever feel comfortable doing, because this is ostensibly a comedy podcast, and we don't see death as that bigger fodder for comedy. They just wouldn't get it through their head, and they just kept rewording the suggestion.
And it's
it got
just something
frustrating.
we're not comfortable with.
Yeah.
And you've got to respect our boundaries on that. Like, you don't have any other choice, because we get to decide what we make content on.
Mm-hmm. But it can happen.
And it reminds me of, like, with Ozzy Osbourne specifically, like, I believe it was Youngblood recently did at an award show a cover in tribute of Ozzy Osbourne. And it just made me, like, I don't really have an opinion on Youngblood either way, but it made me go, like, really? Like, it just felt scummy to me. It didn't feel like a homage. It felt like capitalizing on,
especially when I don't consider
career.
The artist Youngblood. Like, you know, if Metallica came out and did a fucking cover, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense, right? It's, you know, it's one of his peers in the industry making a cover. If his daughter re-released that cover, Changes actually did with him years and years and years ago, off like Avenged Sevenfold, they did a cover of Paranoid, which is really good. If they like remastered that and released another studio version of it. Well, it's like an artist I don't really consider to be all that related. It does feel like they're trying to capitalise on his death.
Like, I don't know whether they were pally with Ozzy Osbourne or they are with other people, and, you know, would they be considered a peer? I don't know. I'm not here to comment on that, but just like either way, it felt a bit just like, ugh.
Yeah.
And not specific dunk on that artist, but like
just the feel of it.
I don't really care about which artist did it. I just didn't feel good about it. But yeah. Anyway.
Yes. I'm also not the fan as well of when the memorial doesn't fit the person's like personality in real life. Like if an Ozzy, if I don't know, fucking Taylor Swift did a tribute to Ozzy Osbourne, I'd be like, why the fuck are you doing this?
To make money, Karl.
Yeah. But if you're another artist or musician known for being like, you know, quite anti-establishment, like known for living that hard rock lifestyle, I'd be like, yeah, that does make sense. That's what Ozzy would have wanted.
Yeah. And anyway, like,
yes.
To bring it all the way back around, I want to talk about Metroid Dread a little bit.
Let's go.
Just because it's a very cool game, and I think it's, for me, when I think of a game that aims to be like a Metroidvania, I think that Metroid Dread finds a fantastic balance of like difficulty and exploration, but linearity at the same time. Of like,
yes,
Metroid Dread it's very cleverly designed in a sense that it knows when to like
give you some
the
freedom
game down a little bit, and when to open it up a little bit.
Yeah, there's like you can golden path through that game and complete it in like a matter of hours. But there are certain sections, say for example, when you get a new ability, where the game world opens up and you are free to explore and find new things. One thing I would say about Metroid that I wish it would kind of like innovate on is I would love if Metroid had like optional bosses. I know some games have optional bosses in the sense you can just skip over them entirely, but I would love it if you would be rewarded for exploring the Metroid world by finding new super bosses or something like that. That's an element that I feel the series could adopt.
You're not wrong, because there is optional stuff in Metroid Dread that you can find, but all of it is just
more missiles,
extra power-ups, like extra missiles, extra power bombs, stuff like that. And even when you break the game to, like, say, find a power bomb, pick up early,
that's still something you would have had.
But it restricts you from using that power bomb early.
Yeah.
And that's maybe one thing that I would quite like, is that if you figure out a way to break the game and get a power bomb pickup earlier than you get the power bomb power upgrade, that maybe that's a way to break the game.
Yes, as well, like the idea of unlocking new optional unlocks that you don't have to get.
And that happens a lot in Super Metroid, technically, because a lot of things like the I think like the wave beam and stuff like that are all
You don't
optional,
technically have to get that, but the majority of people...
But you're kind of led into getting that. Like, nearly every person on their first playthrough is going to stumble into all those things.
Yes, and most people's end game Samus will be pretty much exactly the same, save for you'll have more missiles or more health. Whereas, like, you think of something like a Dark Souls, so it's what Hollow Knight takes inspiration from.
Yeah.
Like, you can get to the end of that game, and because you've gone through a different path through the game, you can be wearing different armor. And I don't want, like, the modularity and customizability of a Souls or RPG. But it would be nice if, say, Metroid had optional super bosses to get new weapons or something.
Yeah, no, it would be cool if you just got, like, a new set of missiles that are optional for going and finding, like, a completely optional section that you have to,
it feels just
go
very
down a difficult segment
dated. Like, the idea of the only tangible upgrade you get the only tangible reward you get for exploration is just the number
more
goes
resources.
up. It feels a little bit dated when I feel the genre as a whole has moved on slightly from the number goes up.
Yes, it certainly has. Like, for example, in Hollow Knight Silksong, like, I was quite enjoying the new, like, pogo kind of dive mechanic, but it is quite tricky. And I think it's an optional area, because I've not been forced to go there, but there's I think, optional area where I went in, explored, defeated a boss, I think, and then got a, like, different crest, I think it's called, where basically I get a different moveset, and it goes back to the pogo from Hollow Knight 1.
Yeah, that's I think
simpler and easy to use, and it's like that then fundamentally made the platforming easier for me.
I would adore, like, a 2D Metroid game with more modularity. Like, I would love it if you could like spec into, like, it'd be very easy to do, like, the classic 3-pronged approach of, like, you can spec into fast Samus, powerful Samus, bulky Samus.
And like, I love fast Samus because Metroid Dread lets fast Samus come out.
Yeah, and I would love if, like, a theoretical game where, like, you could lean into the upgrades, so have different paths through the game of, like, one path gives you all the movement upgrades and agility upgrades, one path gives you, like, new weapons and new ways to interact with weapons, and the other one's like fucking survivability, big tank Samus. Especially with how many upgrades and stuff there are for Samus now, where she had like 15 different looks and there's 1,000 different items and items with permutations that function differently in different games.
Is the thing that you want out of a Metroid not a motorcycle?
No. I have no interest in the 3D Metroid games because just Samus controls like shit.
But you don't want motorcycle Samus?
Why? She can, like, when I saw that Samus get on a motorcycle, I was sat with a friend watching that direct and went, why does Samus need a motorcycle? She can run faster than that thing goes.
She should be the motorcycle.
Yeah, the motorcycle upgrade should be her looking at the motorcycle, grabbing it, absorbing its ability to move fast, and then just running. Like, Samus can, one of her primary abilities is the ability to fucking fly at 1,000 miles an hour. Why am I riding on a motorcycle?
Yeah, it's like, look, I enjoy motorcycles. I think put them in a lot of games.
Also, I loved it. Lucas, it looks like it controls like shit.
Yeah, no,
it looks like it controls terribly.
But like, I'm all for give me the Master Cycle in Breath of the Wild. Yes. Like, it doesn't have to make sense all the time. However, I think of Metroid as a game where you're exploring dense environments and not motorcycling around open nothingness. Empty
open worlds with nothing in them. Traveling between hub worlds.
We'll play Metroid Prime at
some point. Just not like when I saw her get on the motorcycle, I was like, oh my god, Samus has a motorcycle. I just like, why does Samus need a motorcycle? She can run faster than that thing goes.
If it was she jumps on the motorcycle to fast travel between areas, I would have been fine with that. It would have been
if
like,
she turns into a morph ball and the morph ball is like she attached herself to as the morph ball to be the wheel or something.
I'll hold judgment on that game. I haven't, similar to you, I've never been the biggest Metroid Prime person. I'm normally a Metroid 2D person, but yeah. Anyway, going back to Metroid Dread.
Yes, kick-ass game.
We talked about how it could improve, but
this is not me saying Metroid Dread could be improved. This is me saying I would love for the series to not change, but just adopt some of the newer things that the Metroidvania genre has adopted. Because Metroid just feels it's classic. I love it. I love how simple and clean it is. But I say when I look at like Prime, and I think Titanfall exists. Yeah. Why the fuck are you still walking around going?
I think your problem is that you think of that game as a first-person shooter.
Well, it's not. It's an exploration game.
It's not for us, but it's not the point of that game. It's not trying to be a tight, fast-paced first-person shooter game.
Even though I feel like Samus as a character would 100% suit that format.
That would fit the character so well. It would be fucking awesome.
The thing I always say is like when I saw Metroid Prime and I saw like Samus shoot an enemy, she just do a glory kill. Mm-hmm. If she's like moving around like Doom Guy in like Doom Eternal with like the meat hook and stuff, that game will be flawless.
Now, if you gave me a Metroid game that was more like Titanfall or Doom, I'd be really happy. But that's not what Metroid Prime is trying to do.
It's not now. Same with like I don't necessarily want there to be a Metroid game where you can have like customize your Samus, but I think it'd be cool if it did exist because I'd love to see. I would love to have more interaction with that game,
but like,
and have more choice about my path through it.
I think Metroid Dread though is like maybe a great encapsulation of just like what modern Super Metroid can be.
Yes, like that's the thing. I absolutely adore it as a game, and I love how tight an experience it is. But when I think about replaying it, I know that I'm going to enjoy it. But I'm probably ruined by modern gaming. Like sometimes I like to just tweak the way my character controls a little. Like, there's a reason I'll replay Borderlands every now and again.
However, I don't necessarily think you need to.
You don't need it, but I'd be interested to see if they could adopt it.
Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but like Metroid Dread, I have like, sat there and replayed this game and speedrun the game. And I have done like the boss rush mode over and over. I don't particularly, again, in terms of like difficulty, I don't want to play on the ultra hard, like fuck you mode.
That's like what difficulty the bosses are playing on, right? I always think when Samus goes in, that's the difficulty like Ridley picks. It's like, can I lower the difficulty? No. You're fighting fucking Samus?
Yeah, I feel sad for Kraid in this game, where just Kraid came in and was like, is there any accessibility options?
No.
Can I fight Samus on not Silksong difficulty level? No, I'm sorry. Kraid's just there like, oh, okay, I guess I'll try.
Like, I contend that Samus is like could beat fucking like Thor. Like she is such a threat in her game, especially at the end of Metroid Dread, where she's just now Metroid, and she just screams and absorbs the power of an entire power station and just whips out the "fuck you, everything dies" beam.
And Ravenbeak just goes, "Oh no, oh what have I done?"
I still think it's hilarious that Death Battle tried to make a fight fucking Boba Fett. It's one of the most like one-sided beatdowns I've ever seen in that series. Like Samus Aran versus Boba Fett, and it's like guy with a fucking jetpack who dies because he flies into an open Sarlacc mouth. There's like if the Sarlacc was in Metroid, it would be a mini boss, right?
Oh yeah, and obviously in that one scene in Return of the Jedi, his jetpack gets like hit to malfunction, right?
By a blind Luke Skywalker. No, a blind Han Solo.
Yeah, but dude ends up in the Sarlacc pit, I believe, 3 times in canon.
In canon, in the Legends canon, he falls into it twice.
Yeah.
Because in the Legends canon, he survived. I think he survives in the new canon now because they say he fell out or whatever. The Jawas saved him. But in the Legends canon, it was Boba Fett was in the Sarlacc pit. He managed to fly out and crash landed injured. The Jawas saved him, thought he was a droid that they could like take apart and sell, put him in like the hold, and the sand crawler they were in crashed into the same Sarlacc. Like that would not happen to Samus, would it? The idea that Death Battle thought that was an even fight. It's like Samus outside of her armor could rip his head off.
Samus is gonna morph ball into the Sarlacc pit, power bomb, and jump out.
I think Samus out of her armor could beat Boba Fett.
Probably.
Even if you gave him a lightsaber, I still think she'd win. Like Samus outside of her armor could beat Captain America.
But yeah, going back to Metroid Dread, Karl. For anyone that's currently been like playing Hollow Knight or Hollow Knight Silksong and going like, this is great. I wish it was not like absolutely
bastard hard.
Just, horribly hard and, really uninviting, which again is for some people.
Some people like that. I think we talked earlier. Some people like the spicy curry. Some people like the pain.
Yeah.
They like to challenge themselves. Some people like to take that ghost pepper chili peanut and dip it right to the end of their gentleman's eye.
Metroid Dread, though, is...
It's more inviting. Metroid Dread is the yogurt you dip your penis into.
It's definitely more inviting than Holland. The checkpointing is nicer, things like that.
Yeah,
you don't lose all your currency on death.
Think of Metroid Dread as the nice, inviting yogurt you dip your flaming penis into.
But yeah, I think it's one of the best games of 2021, and this, came out on Switch. I appreciate not everyone has a Switch, but came out in 2021, and it is set after Metroid Fusion, where you obviously play as Samus Aran as she investigates the source of a mysterious transmission on the planet ZDR. And it is like a 2D side-scrolling Metroidvania.
I love that in Metroid as well. They just stop naming planets.
Metroid.
It's such a great little bit of world building that in that universe, because it's humanity has reached the point where we're exploring the stars. Why the fuck are we don't name planets anymore? They get numbered designations and that's it.
It's Freezer Planet 34.
Yeah,
it's great. I love that. But the producer, Yoshio Sakamoto, conceived Metroid Dread for the Nintendo DS in the mid-2000s, but development ended due to technical limitations. And then, it's one of those things of, I believe it was IGN at the time was like, there's a new Metroid Dread coming out.
Oh, new Metroid game coming out.
No, they specifically said there's a game called Metroid Dread coming out. And then everyone was like, where the fuck is Metroid Dread? And they even, in one of the Metroid Prime games, one of the things that you can scan talks about, like, the Dread project. And it's, like, hinted at that Metroid Dread is coming. And then it was just gone. And everyone was like, okay, I guess Metroid Dread is never happening. And then obviously it eventually came out in 2021 and it was just announced at E3 2021 of like, Metroid Dread is happening. And obviously it's not even the same developer as Mercury Steam made this. It's not the same game that it would have been on DS, but it's like, oh, finally this name is coming back.
Yeah, like a studio who got so little respect, their names weren't even in the fucking credits. Remember that?
No,
half the people there didn't get credited. There's a load of contractors.
Oh no, yes, that's true. So they did it twice with Metroid. That's why I'm getting confused, because Mercury Steam were the ones that if you didn't finish on the project, you didn't get your name in the credits. So if you worked on Metroid Dread for 2 years and then left before, or got fired, or let go or whatever, before like the game came out, you weren't in the credits at all.
It was to the point they almost didn't credit the voice of Samus. Because they didn't deem the amount of work she did to be enough. Because she was just she was a for hire pay. I believe the voice of Samus is Mercury Steam is based in Spain. She is the Spanish version of like Google. Do you like say, hey Google? She's that voice actress.
Like an assistant voice.
They just called her and she was like a work for hire thing. She almost didn't get credited as the voice of Samus.
She does only say 2 lines.
But she's the main character.
No. That's not me saying like they don't deserve
that's presumably
credit.
That's their argument, right? Like it reminds me a little bit of...
She only said 2 lines, yeah.
It's, what's his name now? Guy who does the voice actor for Bugs Bunny now, Billy West, right?
Is it Billy West?
I think it's Billy West, like he took over from Mel Blanc. Do you know, like he turned up to the Space Jam, the original Space Jam, he turned up to the premiere, was on the red carpet and got turned away. Because he wasn't on the list. And when they said, like, well, who are you? He was like, I'm fucking Bugs Bunny, I'm on the poster. He wasn't allowed in. He had to go next door to the theatre screening for crew members. Because they
Bugs Bunny
wasn't
get let
allowed
into Space Jam.
It's like sometimes it's like, voice actors and stuff, or like, their roles are diminished because they don't see it as important. And you should always get credit. It doesn't matter if you work on something for 5 minutes or 5 years. If your contribution makes it into the final product, it should be noted.
That's me. The one video game I contributed to, I didn't get put in the credits.
You didn't, did you?
I was like, I think the role was gameplay tester on Sonic and All Stars Racing Transformed, and played the game and was looking forward to like seeing my name,
See your name in the credits, right?
And then a bunch of people that I were on that like few play sessions with were in there, and my name was not. And I emailed them, and they were like, "Okay, cool, we'll get it sorted and update. We can see that you worked on it, no problem." The update never happened. The game got updated, but my name never got put in there, and I was like, I worked on it for like a few days of my life.
But
it's
still,
not
you
enough
put work in, right?
to fight again for it. But I was like, man, that sucks. That sucks. And I still like the game. I enjoy the game.
It's not as important for you, but imagine now, like, say, you're a voice actor and you need your reel or you need your CV, and you're not being credited.
Well, that literally came up once. I applied for a like QA job at a game development studio, and they were like, "Have you ever worked on a game?" I was like, "Well, yes, but I can't be seen in the credits." They'd be like, "What does that mean then?"
Yeah, that's why, like, as a content creator, like writer and stuff, I've done a lot of ghost writing in the past. Like, I've actually got more ghost written content out there than I've got real content. Like, not real, but content with my name on it.
He just puts out under the name Robert Galbraith.
Yeah. I don't. There's so much of me that's under a ghost. It's a ghost written. It's under a pseudonym because I wasn't allowed to submit under my own name, or somebody else. I was writing for somebody else, and they get to put it out and claim that they made it, not me.
Yeah, but no, Mercury Steam did make this, and the other one that I was thinking of is Metroid Prime Remastered, where in the credits it shows the credits of the people that remastered the game, and then went thanks to Retro Studios for the original.
Yeah, not.
And it's like, you couldn't have just gone in, watched the credits for Metroid Prime and copy-pasted that video file. It's like, God,
It fucking sucks, right? But Metroid Dread whips ass. A few minor issues like that. Like, credit people worked on the game, but still.
It's still great, and it was, named one of the best games of 2021 by multiple outlets, and it was nominated 3 times in the Game Awards 2021, like the VGAs, including Game of the Year. And it won for Best Action/Adventure Game. And I was personally quite annoyed that it didn't win Game of the Year that year. I can't remember what was nominated, but I love Metroid Dread so much. I think it's...
Yeah, but it feels like... I'm not saying this, but I can imagine like reviews when it feels too small. Like Game of the Year, you want it to be more bombastic, right? And when it's like a little pew 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 on a tiny little screen, I can see
but at the same time,
I'm not saying that. I can imagine someone saying that.
Put them in a room in that Raven Beak fight.
Yeah.
When you're dashing everywhere, and man, that's such a fun fight.
As well, when it's video games, like I feel that with a video game, there needs to be: is it fun?
Yeah.
Is it fun? And they need to just record people playing it. It's like, are they smiling when they play this game?
And Karl, a bit of a depressing part of the wiki here, though.
Go.
So it became the fastest selling Metroid game in Japan, the UK, and the US.
And it sold like 2 million copies, right?
It sold more than 3 million copies, making it the best-selling Metroid game ever.
Which feels weird, because that's one of the things about the Metroid series, where it's so iconic, so famous, like Super Metroid, where I say one of the greatest video games ever. Samus Aran, the first lady of gaming, right up there with like Princess fucking Peach and Pauline, depending on like which one you want to view as like, and Princess Zelda. The game doesn't say, it feels like an underappreciated hit, even though everybody fucking knows what it is.
Everybody knows what Super Metroid is, and everybody knows it's one of the greatest games ever.
Do you know what it reminds me of?
But
it's not.
And it never sold anything.
Yeah, it's not a one-to-one comparison, but it reminds me somewhat of like Shaun of the Dead, where when you look at the box office for Shaun of the Dead, it did well on its modest budget, but when you think that I have never met a person who doesn't know what Shaun of the Dead is. It doesn't feel that the success it got at the time is reflective of the legacy that it has. And it's similar to like Super Metroid.
To a lot of, Edgar Wright movies in general, right? But
like Super Metroid, the Metroid series, there's not a gamer alive who doesn't know the character of Samus Aran and that series. But it just doesn't sell.
Every single time Games Done Quick happens, the finale, the celebration of speedrunning is Super Metroid.
Yeah, which you can see as like just a celebration of gaming as a whole.
Is like it if you looked at it, it probably is classified as like a cult hit.
Yeah, that's it. It's like not a one-to-one comparison, but it's something that every person who plays games knows about the Metroid series, and yet that does not translate to sales.
And if people are mad about us saying that, just think, right, we've got
3 million copies, that's a lot of copies. But
if I go through the list of games in the Metroid series, it looks like here there's Metroid and Metroid Zero Mission.
Yes.
And this is in chronological order, because I've got the chronology up here.
It starts with Metroid 1.
So it starts with the Metroid manga series, which obviously is
let's go for games.
But games-wise,
so
Metroid
1
and then Zero Mission.
So Metroid Zero Mission is after Metroid 1.
No, Metroid Zero Mission is a remake of Metroid.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's the same game.
So Metroid Zero Mission, then it is Metroid 2, Return of Samus?
Metroid Prime.
Oh, yeah, because the Prime games always throw me off, because they're like thrown in there, right?
They're thrown in straight after Metroid. So after Metroid, it's Metroid Prime.
1, 2, and
Prime
3.
Hunters, Prime 2, Prime 3, Prime Federation Force, and Prime 4.
Okay, and then after that, then it'll be Metroid 2.
Then it's Metroid 2.
The idea that between the events of Metroid 1 and 2, Samus did all of Prime. She's a busy woman.
Like 6 different Metroid Prime games between Metroid
before
and
the
Metroid
second
2.
game in the series, right?
Yeah.
So then we Metroid 2, Return of Samus, then it'll be
Then there's
Fusion?
also Samus Returns, which is the remake of Return of Samus. Then it's Super Metroid after that.
So it's Super Metroid, and then it's Zero Mission. Not Zero Mission, sorry, Fusion.
No, then it's Other M.
Oh yeah, of course.
That game exists.
Yeah, Other M starts immediately after Super.
Immediately after Super. Then it's Fusion, then it's Dread, and that's the end of chronology.
So I always forget, Other M directly takes place because it references like the Phantoon fight and the Kraid fight, and one of the I believe the impetus for the plot of Dread is that they spot the X-Parasite, and Sam's like, I fucking killed that. What the fuck is this? I want it dead again. And I love when the X-Parasite turns up and Samus isn't even bothered. Because I can still absorb it, and it runs away from her. The X-Parasite runs away from... I love that. She's so scary, things run away from her.
But yeah, that means there's 14 games, including the remakes. 14 games, and just to put that in perspective, it's probably quite likely that Hollow Knight and Silksong combined have outsold all them games.
Let's just look it up now and look at like Hollow Knight sales figures.
So Hollow Knight original was like around 20 million. And I believe
21.8 million copies as of 2 years ago. So let's add another million onto that for sales. So and then let's add Silksong onto say 25 million conservatively.
I think they said there was 5 million players like immediately on Silksong.
Okay, so let's say in the 2 years
Game Pass included. So yeah, maybe like 25 million-ish.
Yeah. Let's round it up and say like 30 million. Give it like another year of sales.
Maybe by now, because like the amount of sales Silksong's probably already had, right?
Yeah. So that's 2 games inspired by like the genre that Metroid established. And yeah, I bet that would be safe. Because if 3 million is the highest selling one, that means every other game in the series is sold between 1 and 2.
And it does look here on the video game sales wiki. It has Metroid listed as having
a series, as a franchise.
As a series, 22 million sales,
so
which means
Hollow Knight on its own.
Hollow Knight's probably outsold the entire Metroid series without Silksong.
I'm saying Hollow Knight is a very impactful game, very popular, but fuck, it's the first lady of gaming.
All of Metroid. And it's like, this is why I think it's, at least important to be aware of Hollow Knight, because it is a phenomenal hit within
unprecedented success for the genre.
Within that genre and within any genre, right?
But specifically this one, Metroidvanias don't tend to sell well, as evidenced by the fact Metroid games don't sell well.
Yeah, and obviously there's a distinction of the price of the game. Like Hollow Knight is a lot cheaper than full price video games. It also goes on sale. I think I got it on sale on Switch for less than $5.
One of the most on sale games.
I'm never going to be able to buy a Metroid game for less than $5, right? So there is that discrepancy. We are talking unit sales, not monetary amount sales, but still, still, the fact that like Hollow Knight and Silksong are pushing those numbers, and Metroid games can't be hitting like. It's impressive that Metroid Dread hit 3 million, even though it's a phenomenal game that got nominated for the most popular viewed video game award show of the year. And people are like, oh, yeah. And it's like, I don't know what else we can do to be like, play a game that has Samus in it, please. Just that isn't Smash Bros.
It's interesting though, and I love the game, love the series. Hopefully we'll, I know Prime 4 doesn't appear to be my cup of tea, but hopefully they get that Call of Duty tech going on the go and just have like 2 studios, one developing a 2D game, one developing a 3D game. Keep that shit rolling for me.
Because that's the thing is, Metroid Fusion was, I think, the exact same day as Metroid Prime, and that was probably about 2001, I think. And Metroid Dread was the first new 2D Metroid game we'd got since then.
Yes.
2002. So since 2002 to 2021, we had no 2D Metroid games.
The idea they're not remade Super. Like, remaking Super with the Dread engine just seems like an absolute no-brainer.
Can you though? Is that a game that...
Is it too perfect? I think it would. Like, I know Super is perfect, but I feel that they're not going to improve upon it, refine it.
If you can make it feel like the movement...
Yes.
Don't
frame
Dread.
It as we're remaking it better. Frame it as we're refining it. We're giving it the polish and the modern lick of paint that a game of this is like that has this legacy and status in the industry deserves.
They remade RE4 and people are happy with it. Fuck it, give the Super Metroid remake to Capcom and
I've always said I think, like, besides the 2D genre, like 2D platformer and like run and gun, I think the format that would suit a Metroid game would be Resident Evil, specifically Resident Evil 4. I think the exploration of the Resident Evil games combined with like the action of the RE5 and 4 and stuff, I think could really work for a game like Super Metroid game.
And the feeling of isolation in the earlier Resident Evils as well, right?
All I think is just, we shit on Other M for being terrible, but that melee system is really fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, give me like the melee system like that combined with like the gameplay and of RE4 and just figure out a way to make Samus be able to do like platforming nonsense.
But yeah, I think Metroid Dread gives such a good feeling of power by the end of it. It gives such a fantastic like element of just powering up, and I wish there was a bit more of that in Silksong from what I've experienced, because man, by the end of Metroid Dread, when you learn that Ravenbeak fight, because bear in mind, Ravenbeak kicked my ass to begin with.
He's a tough boss fight.
Like, but that feeling of learning him and dashing around and parrying and being untouchable, Metroid Dread does that so well.
I've talked about cutscene Samus before. Of like, it is my headcanon that Samus has never once been hit. Mm-hmm. I am of the belief that in every single one of the 14 Metroid games, Samus has never once had a hit land on her. Ever. My headcanon is, like, not even, like, speedrun Samus. Toon-assisted speedrun Samus. Where she is fucking, like, moonwalking on 1 health across the entire level.
And that's, right, is, like, obviously in cutscenes, like, for example, Ravenbeak finds a way to counter Samus and shut her down and take her powers. And, like, the depowering moments aside, I agree with you. It's like, yeah, Samus is just unstoppable.
I don't think there's a single enemy in that series who could ever like land a clean hit on her when she's prepared.
Because even when Samus gets depowered, Samus just fucks up the entire world and gets those powers back.
Yeah, like by the end of it, she's absorbing the power of an entire planet. I've always said it. I'll reiterate. If they, like, one of my favourite openings to any game is Super Metroid. Just the text. The last Metroid is in captivity. The galaxy is at peace. Sequel to Dread. Samus is now the last Metroid. The last Metroid is not in captivity. The galaxy is at war. Perfect. And just have Samus being the last Metroid and there's bounty hunters after her.
Oh, we can get Psylocke back, Karl.
Yeah.
Looking forward
to
the
idea
Psylocke.
That anyone would fucking hunt Samus. Like, how much do you think you need to be fucking paid to try and go get her, right?
It's so funny when I'm sure there are people out there that are fan of Metroid Prime Hunters, but the absolute glaze that they give in that trailer for like Psylux, and it's like,
just the
main bad guy, Psylux.
The thought process that anyone would even try. It reminds me of like Judge Dredd, in like the Karl Urban Dredd movie, where they call in some corrupt judges to kill Judge Dredd, and it's like, what are you offering? It's like, 1 million credits, like 2 million. Why? Do you know who we're here to kill? No, I fucking do. It's 2 million. You're basically asking me to walk into an execution. Fuck, I want enough money for my family to be okay.
So I think I played through like half of Metroid Prime Hunters before I fell off it because the controls were bad. But just playing through that game is pretty much Samus murking a bunch of mercenaries, that like a bunch of other bounty hunters, and Samus just be, I'm better.
It should be like in Halo 5, where you're playing as like Spartan Locke, and all you do is you're following the trail of Master Chief, and it's just 1,000 dead Covenant everywhere you go. It's like, what happened? Oh, Master Chief came here. And that's it, right? They're just, what happened? Master Chief was here and everything's dead.
It's true. That's what happens when Samus turns up. Just don't fuck.
Like there should be an entire game where you following the aftermath of what Samus did, and it's just a completely derelict, dead planet where she's fucking killed everything. And the end of the game is you just go home. You're not paid enough.
That's what I'd be in that situation. But yeah, thank you all for sticking along with us today.
Yes.
And it has gone a little bit longer than I thought, because I just love Samus and Metroid, and
hopefully you feel better, Monfrey. Should be back to full strength next week, just like Samus. So that's the thing, you've lost your power up, so you get back.
Yeah, I'm slowly just trying to find that morph ball power up.
You need to get that power up, you just grab people's faces and just absorbs everything from them. Like, I still love the moment in Metroid Dread where she goes full Metroid and just latches onto Ravenbeak's head, like the Metroid does at the end of Super Metroid, and you even get you get a flash of the original theme from that game, and when it's happening, you get the same like wow 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 sound effect.
And you get that look from Ravenbeak of, oh, I fucked up.
It's just that she grabs it and she just won't let go. Yeah.
Oh god, I won't let go to Metroid Dread. Like, this game is my baby.
So good.
And yeah, if you've enjoyed Hollow Knight, or you've not enjoyed Hollow Knight, go play Metroid Dread. Give it its due.
Give it its due. You need more people. We just need 17 million people to listen to this and go play it, right?
It's true. It's true. Everyone go buy Metroid Dread. It's great.
The idea that it could have sold 10 times as much and would only just be winning is crazy. But yeah, thank you all for listening, and we hope to see you all next time. Hopefully by then, Lucas, you're a little bit better. Otherwise, thank you all for listening. So. Thank you all for sticking around, and see you all next time. Are you sure you just don't want to go for, oh, hi, audience, you're my favourite Patreon subscriber?
Oh, I mean, you told me to kickstart the conversation, but
that's
if you want to open with that, then by all means, just start with that. Oh, hi.
I'm aware of the fact that people think I do a good Tommy Wiseau impression, by which I mean I do a terrible one, but how can you possibly do a worse impression than he did?
Yeah, how can you do Tommy Wiseau worse than Tommy Wiseau did in life?
In that movie, it's great. My favourite part of that movie is just like, oh, hi, doggy.
How much is it?
It'll be $18.
Here you go. Keep the change. Hi, doggy.
You're my favourite customer.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Speaking of our favourite customers, Karl.
Yes.
Should we get into the shout-outs? Because, like, these are maybe not our favourite customers, but these are the supporters that help us out the most. So they subscribe on the highest tier, and we need to shout them out every month to just show our appreciation for keeping the lights and mics on.
We don't need to, Lucas. We want to.
Of course.
A sentence I'm likely going to regret over the next 30 seconds or so, because a standing offer, a gauntlet I have thrown down onto the floor for our entire audience is go to our Patreon, subscribe at the highest tier, and come up with the most unpronounceable name you can just to watch us suffer. People have really taken that to heart this month.
Like, we've had to bring Google Translate into the mix at this point. Like, it's getting there.
Here's the thing. Google Translate is not helpful. Fuck you, AI. But our first shout out is for series of emojis, which I'm now going to read out as best I can. So, fire emoji, dragon emoji, gorilla emoji, guy doing this emoji, nails on fleek emoji can't be displayed because we copy pasted it into Discord, skull emoji, demon emoji, angry hat emoji cannot be displayed, 3 emojis in a row that are the eyes wide mouth face emojis, mushroom emoji, smiley face emoji, and hedgehog doing like a little jig.
Yeah, like, this has gone to incomprehensible levels at this point. But speaking of emojis,
we're up to hieroglyphics now. People are saying us fucking hieroglyphics.
You were challenging people to bring hieroglyphics into the mix.
We called Wiki Weekends not the British Museum of Natural History. Right?
But yeah, we do have more emojis here, like ghost emoji, little ghost, and ghost emoji.
Yeah, that's a lot easier to pronounce than series of emojis that takes 30 to 40 seconds to say. But I do respect it.
Look what you've done! You've completely turned into ghosts! Which means I can finally do this!
And my day is not getting any easier because the next person who submitted their name in Nahuatl. A language I do not speak and I'm not familiar with, so let's give this a go, shall we? So, Tinakui, Horchata, Octilane, Tomi, Semasikapatia, Ta. Was that wrong? Was that offensive? Was that wrongly offensive?
I mean, that's always the worry, right? It's like...
Yo soy abogado. Yo soy abogado.
But currently I have a nice, easy one, because it is to just say a special thanks to Split Screen. I was going to say I think Split Screen is referring to the moment where you realise that someone's screen watching you on GoldenEye and like, no!
When I saw someone screen watching, I just got mad and started throwing hands, and I realised that if my brother is watching my side of a screen while playing GoldenEye, he's not watching his balls.
You just...
Don't screen watch! The next person to shout out is Rosalindis Memphis. And I do need to apologise, because this person has supported our Patreon for a while, and I keep trying to specifically put in a clip from the song Walking in Memphis, because that's the only song I'm aware of that has the word Memphis in it. I have tried putting in the original version. I tried putting in the Nightcore version. I tried putting in the version that, like, the German, like, techno band Scooter did. Every time it gets us, like, copyright struck. So I'm really sorry.
I was going to say, is this the song that, like, every month I see a copyright strike against then? Yeah.
From Mark Cohn, yeah. And every time, because I think I try and do a nice little personal shout out, either via video clip or the little conversation myself and Lucas have. We want to let all of our supporters know, who support us at this tier, we appreciate you. Here's a funny little bit.
Exactly.
That's like effectively sponsored by you. I can't do that for this person. I'm really sorry.
We'll continue trying, I guess. But yeah.
It's to the point where I'm thinking, should I just record it myself? If they're going to continue to be a supporter, just do a really bad cover of it.
And Karl, I know that this is going to be a little bit spoilerific for you.
Okay.
But for the next person, I do want you to put in a certain, like, a certain character. Maybe not a certain clip. But we are supported once again by Lucille de Steele. And I've mentioned a couple of times, I don't know whether this is a One Piece reference of having D as, like, a middle initial. But I have recently watched an episode where Monkey D. Garp goes on the most rampages of rampages and shows off why they are the hero Garp. And if you can just any clip of Monkey D. Garp, just be Monkey D. Garp.
So the next person to shout out is Kicking Bucket, and then I can't decipher what they put here. So they put like a series of dots and dashes, and I'm not sure if it is, but it looks to me like, do you remember people use like those like keystrokes that aren't commonly seen on like a keyboard to like show the little dude flipping the table?
Oh, okay, yeah.
It looks like that, but like more abstract, or it might be Loss. And if it's Loss, fucking well played for getting me with Loss.
I can see more flipping a table, so I guess just like, put your favourite clip in on table flipping.
Oh, it's got to be something from Magic the Gathering, right?
Oh, God.
I don't understand how people with such an expensive hobby would dare to flip a table with their on. Right? It'd be like flipping the table with your newborn baby on it.
The baby's probably more reasonable, right? You can make another one of them.
You can make another one. You can't get another like Black Lotus, can you?
Anyway, speaking of babies, we've got to then shout out Fallopian Starship Return to the Womb.
Like, this name gets longer each month, and I'm starting to think they're trying to tell us a short story in the most abstract manner possible. Fallopian Starship, that's like, it's a name. A thing we mentioned in Wiki Weekends is band names, I would not buy that band's album. I'm sorry.
I'm a fan of, or used to be a fan. I haven't listened to them much in the past few years, but I'm a fan of Cobra Starship, so that's what it always reminds me of, like just the Starship being the second part of the name. And
you mentioned Cobra Starship, Lucas, and I just have to say, I'm putting in a picture of their first album because it's just the 2010s distilled. I won't put a clip in because copyright. If Mark Cohen gets us, Cobra Starship certainly will, because I bet they've got no fucking money coming in anymore.
I think Cobra Starship might be an encapsulation of 2010s, the pop punk movement.
It's 2010s as fuck. I literally still have that haircut. Right? And I got this haircut in the 2010s. The next person's shout out is simply Daddy Grunt.
Which all I can imagine from that is the grunts from Halo, but just a big grunt. Just the daddy.
To be fair, did you ever play Halo Wars?
No, well, I played a little bit of it, but not much.
So one of the DLC characters of Halo Wars and RTS...
Was it a daddy grunt?
It was Yap Yap the Destroyer, who's the grunt commander, and he's the leader of the grunts, but his backstory is he didn't want to be, but no one else wanted to be harder than he didn't want to be, so by default he became the leader of the grunts. He's I don't want to be the leader of the grunts. How noble and modest of you, leader of the grunts.
That is such grunt energy, that's perfect, yeah. Do you want to give us a riddle before I then go to Google Translate on this one?
I do, yes. So the final person to shout out before Lucas embarrasses himself so much is Be of Awesome. Okay, riddle time. What lies on the ground 100 feet in the air? Answer in my Patreon bio. We've not looked this up because I do like riddles. I'm not able to really figure out what this one is.
Mm-hmm. What weighs 6 ounces, sits in a tree, and is very dangerous?
A sparrow with a machine gun.
Yes, of course. Now,
it's a good riddle because I can't immediately tell what it is, and we don't want to take up too much of our audience's valuable time. But I do appreciate them sending a riddle. I'm unable to answer the riddle. We're being honest. We could have looked it up. We could have pretended not to know and then come up with it on the fly. We're being honest. We don't know the answer to that riddle. So thank you for, providing us with a little mind bender there that we can't figure out.
I mean, maybe the comments can guess the answer to the riddle, and then next month we can reveal it in the shout out.
Yes.
The time has come. I've had to cheat and use Google Translate because this one was submitted in almost entirely either kanji or katakana. I'm not sure which one it was, but in Japanese.
Spoilers, we don't read that language.
We don't.
To me, I read that and think that is the name of a video I listened to when I was an edgy teenager and somehow fell into listening to Toho remixes. It's just is that the name of a Dematori song or something like that? So also, someone's going to lose their shit to that reference, and congratulations to that person.
I'm going to butcher the absolute hell out of this one, but I guess that's what we're here for, Karl. So, Atlin wa kimi ga kono rukasutu desu stranen ka Hideo Kojima Hideo no Butunda Kiaro made Tokushu Toga o Kami Kake Kaganana Hishi no Hatsuhon Shu to Shite Kara Mawari Suno o Kikikatu Kimi no Patreon no Shoutoutu Wakuni Katakata Toroku Shita. So bear in mind, I got paid to say that. I tried. I am
also
sorry.
Keep in mind, Lucas is the one who watches anime all the time. My Japanese pronunciation would be way worse.
That's a rough one, but we just fully appreciate the support, and that's why we're willing to make idiots of ourselves at the end of all these videos.
We also appreciate as well just the continued effort expended by our audience to troll us in ever more creative and interesting ways.
Goddamn, we need to slim these down because this is approaching a 20-minute recording mark.
It's fine.
A third of a video. Goddamn.
See you all next time.
Hell yeah.